Mr. Thompson is recognized for
Thank you,
question.
Mr. Chairman, and thank you to all the witnesses for being here. Dr. Melancon, thank you for being here. Thank you for your good work. And I particularly appreciate your comments on the importance of community colleges and vocational and trade schools. I think that's very important. And I'm a product of community college myself. Well, I didn't technically go to a trade school. I went to a community college to learn how to weld. And I took that interest in education, and what I learned, I used it in my job as a maintenance supervisor for a major winery in my hometown. But it ignited an interest in education for me, and I went on to a 4-year college and got a couple of degrees. And I hope, and it helped me. It helped me. Provided more opportunities for me and provided a better living. So I hope in Congress, in this committee and in Congress in the whole, that we can work together in a bipartisan way to make it easier for young people to pursue these pathways to well-paying jobs. And I'd like to ask you about some of the work we did in this committee last year. You mentioned them in your testimony. We worked hard to ensure that the investments we made last year, particularly the Inflation Reduction Act, but also the Infrastructure Bill and the CHIPS Act, would improve economic mobility for all Americans. And a big part of your work is identifying what you call the mismatch between workers we need and the skills our current workforce has. Can you talk a little more about what sort of jobs are being created by the Inflation Reduction Act and what skills are needed for these jobs?
Yes, thank you. So, as I mentioned before, with the Inflation Reduction Act has brought on new technology to legacy crafts. For example, in my state of Louisiana and in Baton Rouge, a lot has gone on to carbon capture technology and the desire to use different forms of hydrogen, more so of the blue-green hydrogen. That has brought on the need for more PV installers, more use for wind and energy. And as a welder, you are building out new infrastructure inside the plant for this new carbon capture technology. You got to fabricate that equipment for this decarbonization work, and then also on the platforms for the wind turbines. So that has grown the desire for, I call legacy skill crafts, the welders, pipe fitters, instrument techs. But at the same time, those skills need to be upgraded to the different processes. Might be using different materials, different type of composites. And that increased knowledge also increased in pay of a good quality job. So the beauty of that, of increasing economic base for all, in a tight labor market, what we have found out is that employers are willing to take chances on individuals who typically wouldn't receive a referral from the softball team or from the hunting camp. They're willing to work with community college or work in diverse community-based organizations, and that has opened the door for people to get into these new green jobs and actually currently manufacturing petrochemical jobs throughout the South.
Thank you. And you mentioned better pay. Do you expect that the jobs created by the IRA, the CHIPS Act, and the Infrastructure Bill to pay higher wages than average?
Yes, so it has been documented. I think at least 11% is higher wages. A majority of these jobs are pretty much good jobs, but I think also these jobs that actually tacked on with the defined apprenticeship programs, and you pretty much get paid as the credentials you earn. You also increase in pay. So yes, the pay scale has been increased dramatically with this investment.
A lot of the education stuff is out of our lane in this committee, but in general, do you think Congress should increase investment in career and technical education?
Yes, like I stated before in my testimony, there has been cutbacks since the past 20 years, adult education, CTE programs, and the community technical college has basically received a haircut. At the same time, the mismatch of the labor has also increased, and then the demand for high-quality skilled labor to be forward. A lot of these crafts still need a base knowledge, and you need to get a base knowledge to go into to these employment sectors, and then from there, the employers can help accelerate their training. But employers can't deal with base knowledge. They actually need to be somewhat productive and safe on the job site.
Thank you. And then just in closing, do you see the investments we made in the Inflation Reduction Act, the infrastructure bill, helping in rural areas?
Very much so, especially when those community technical colleges have been very strategic of how to leverage their community programs and making them the centers of excellence. For example, you have a CDL driving program with a heavy equipment driving program, get them dual certified, and they're more able to earn more and be more productive on the job site.
Thank you very much.